Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Woodland Lavender Farm. This is day 14 of my June on the Farm series. And it's actually been a few days since I posted a video, and that's because I got sick. You might have heard on my last video that I was coming down. I'd caught the bug that my boys had, and boy, it just took me down. It was just a cold, but you know, the nose, the cough, the sinus pressure, all that, it just brought me down. So I'm finally feeling better today. I'm not 100%. I still have a little bit of a cough, a little bit of a stuffy nose, but I'm doing better and I can actually get out and do stuff. So I'm starting to feel a little left behind again, or not left behind, a little behind on stuff to get done because I haven't done anything really since Friday. Today is Wednesday. So I have lots of days here where I didn't get anything done. My husband was able to get some projects done, and I'll take you around and show you some of those. And then I hope to get something done today. It's just going to be I'm going to see something and it needs to get done, so I'm going to do it. That's about what's going to happen today. So hopefully I can get quite a few things done, but we'll see how it goes. So let's go look around and see what we can find that's been done already. Yes, you are looking at a hole in the ground. A pipe in the ground, actually. It's going to serve a very good purpose. I'll show you. So this hole in the ground over here is going to be for my clothesline. I actually got this last year, but never put it in, which is a shame because we had like 4 to 5 months of like no rain, absolutely sun all the time. Would have been great for drying clothes, but never got it put in the ground. Now, we are not just installing this into the ground. We put this pipe in here so that we can take it out whenever we need to. So if we want to use this part of the yard for something else, we can just pull this out and put it away. So let's see if I can actually get this together now. Should be fun. It's not that hard really, just that pipe and this pipe. I say that and it's not going together. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then looks like this is tied on here. Just to keep the cords from tangling. Okay. Well, should just be able to push this up. Should be able to. Hold up. There we go. Some of the cabling was in the way of the pipes moving. Ah. There we go. Nice and easy. So I'll be able to use this from now on for, you know, the newfangled solar and wind powered clothes drying system. All right, well that's done. Let's go show you something else that's been happening around here. All right, so Brent also put in this pole. Actually, he put it back in. This was part of a fence that crosses over between this tree and this tree stump. And we took this out because we were wanting to take these trees out, and we ended up only taking out the one, so we still have this one here. But we've decided to put the fence back up because there's a gate that goes across here, and we need to be able to close the dogs in the backyard when we need them to be enclosed. So we need to have this fence and this gate put back in. So
hopefully it'll stay, because all the concrete was still on the post, and so I then put more concrete in the hole, but I didn't do a whole accomplishment of concrete. So I need to put more backfill in with the dirt so it stays a little more sturdy. So it's not super solid, but it'll work, I think, for what we need it to.
Yep. So thanks for that, hon.
And then my new toy.
Just wanted to show you the sweet potatoes that I planted. They're growing very nicely. There's lots of new growth on them. They're looking a little wilty right now because it is quite warm out. So just going to give them a little bit of water before I go on to the next thing. But that does remind me that one of the things I do need to do this afternoon is move some of the sprinklers and get some water on some of the stuff that I've planted.
So this is our new Ryobi 40 volt machine that will pretty much take down almost anything, so it seems. Just got it in today, charged with the battery, and it came with those teeth there on the end, blades, whatever you want to call them. It's also a string trimmer, but we needed to have something like this for this portion of the garden that got away from us, and we just don't have anything to really chop it down. Of course we could pull them out, but that's going to take too long. This way it happens a lot quicker, and I do have also on the way the brush trimmer, which is a metal blade, so I'm really looking forward to using that. It'll be a lot quicker on the cuts too, I'm sure.
Well, in Brent's cutting down of the weeds here, he ran into the patch of garlic that had gotten left there. Ended up chopping off the ends of them, the tops of them. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull them now, even though they weren't necessarily ready. And you can see this one's got a pretty nice bulb on it. These other ones are more like a single bulb. And these will be good for planting this fall to grow bigger bulbs for next year. So I'm just gonna pull the rest of these and just let them dry out and get ready for planting next fall. So I'm not terribly upset with my husband for chopping these up. They aren't as big as I thought they might be getting, but it's kind of to be expected because these are actually bulbs that I left in the ground last fall, or sorry, last spring after harvesting. When did I harvest those? I harvested them last summer.
Last summer.
Yeah. And so these had just been left in the ground, which means that each one of those bulbs then grew just more. I mean, that's how it works. But so that's why they aren't as big, why they are just more like single cloves. So we can just take these single cloves now and plant them, and we'll have more garlic to plant this fall. So there's something else I wanted to show you over here.
So I just wanted to fill you in a little bit more about this unit. It is the one with a carbon fiber shaft, but it also comes apart and you can get the different attachments for it, like a cultivator and other things. But the thing about this one too, it comes with a 4 amp hour battery, and whenever I look at that, I just think, oh, it's not going to be well suited for the task. And we do have the 6 amp hour battery that we can put in there from the mower, but I've been doing a lot out here and it still comes in at half of the amount of charge. So I'm actually pretty pleased with that. I didn't think I would be. Certainly it'll get worse over time, but that's what the 6 amp hour battery is for, and that's what replacement batteries are for. So I think it's probably going to be all right, and it'll last a good long time. It'll get us what we need to get chopped down, and then of course clean up, and while you're cleaning up you charge it again. So the convenience of battery, I really do like that. And the guy at Home Depot, he was just really trying to push me on the gas stuff. He's like, oh, people keep bringing these back. So I guess we'll see if I bring it back or whatever, but so far this is a pretty good unit, pretty strong, and it gets the job done that we needed to get done.
What did you find down here, Puggy? You want to show everybody what we found yesterday? What's this over here? What's this over here? Do you see? Raspberries are coming on, people. We had our first couple of raspberries yesterday. Had a few more today. So it's going to be picking season here very soon, and the bushes are loaded. Let me just show you here. Lots of fresh raspberries and raspberry jam to come. Cannot wait. So another thing that's been happening on the farm while I've been sick is Brent's had the boys out here weeding. So they've been coming along to the pumpkins here and weeding out all these little weeds here and then leaving the marigolds. I'm pleased, so pleased with the size of the marigolds. So they should be hopefully blooming at about the same time the squash is blooming. And my intent with these, of course, is to try to keep the squash bugs away. So I'm out here checking on my garden, and I think I need to look up what they look like again, but I think these are peanut plants. I see a few of them here and there, but it's mostly other weeds out here. But oh, I think there's another one right out there. Oh, 1, 2, 3 right in a row there. I think that's another one out there. Ooh, yes, I think the peanuts are coming up. Yay! The potatoes are also popping up. I don't think everyone has come up yet, but there's lots of green potato plants. And I haven't had too much of a problem with the potato bugs on the other potato plants, so I'm hoping these will be saved from demolishing. These are the Jacob's cattle beans. They are popping up. A good portion of them have come. There are some that either aren't up yet, or maybe they came up partially, but then have died. Like this one right here, it came up, but it's not growing leaves. This one is just growing, you know, it's just separating to grow leaves. So there's still going to be some coming up, but there's a lot up already. The red corn is a little bit disappointing. I'm only seeing like a handful of plants that have popped up. Just like 7 or 8 of them maybe. So I do need to get this area watered, so I'm gonna go get a sprinkler set up so it can water over here. Brent has been weed eating around our piles so the grass doesn't encroach on them too much. You can see Bermuda grass just loves to take over. And you can see my squash plants are getting wilty, so I definitely need to get water on these ASAP. So that sprinkler that I just set up in the chicken coop garden needs to be stopped so we can run this other one. To run these types of sprinklers on this particular irrigation pump, it will operate too, but they don't have as far a reach. So I like to run just one of them at a time. So I'm gonna get that sprinkler set up over here and turn that one off. Since the raspberries are ripening, I just wanted to check, and sure enough, we have black caps ripening. They aren't very big, but I haven't watered them besides the rain this year and then the sprinkler a couple times. But we definitely have some black caps to pick too. Now in here though, I need to be careful because there are some bushes of catnip, but as I found out the other day, there's also some stinging nettle. So that's on my list of things to do for the farm, is to cut down the stinging nettle and get rid of it. But I'm also going to dry this and crush the leaves to make a so that I can use it in teas, because there is medicinal qualities to stinging nettle. Couldn't tell you what they are right now, but that's something you could look up and see if it's something you want to have in your arsenal. But I want to have some on hand just in case. Give that a try and see if that's good enough. We might have to do some adjusting. Okay, I think Brent is now out of the reach of the sprinkler, so I'm gonna go turn that one on. I should also mention that one of the other things that we've been doing out here in the pumpkin patch is keeping the grass mowed. So we've been really trying to keep the grass down and we'll just continue mowing it until the vines get long enough and spread out to the point where we can't really mow without injuring the vines. And then hopefully the leaves and stuff of the plants will hinder the grass from growing too tall, and hopefully even maybe kill it off a little bit. But until then, we're just going to try to keep it mowed down. Just thought I'd do a quick update here in the chicken run garden too. As you can see, the pathway here still needs to be weeded or taken care of or something. So that's on my list of things to do. This is where I had planted the corn last time. I don't see any up yet, but I wasn't really expecting to. So, oh wait, I take that back. There's one right there. Very cool. So we do have some more corn coming up. Very good. At least I hope. Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't look like it's in a row, but my stick got knocked over, so that is a row there. Okay. Come over here to the dill, and I see lots of dill popping up, which is fantastic. Maybe not so much on this side. This side I had older seed on there, so I am not surprised if I don't get anything on that page, or that side. But there's lots coming up over here. So we'll get lots of dill for making pickles. And speaking of pickles, we have the ingredients for pickles over here. And we have some popping up out of the ground. There's one. There's another one right there. There's one right there. Now I planted 5 or 6 in each hill. And here you can see 1, 2, 3 popping up. This hill didn't get watered very well, so we'll have to make sure to turn the water back on for over here. Let's see here. Yeah, got 4 up in this hill and 2 in this one. This hill's been kind of demolished a little bit. Oh, but I see some bean seeds. Maybe we'll put those in the ground and maybe get some more beans. But it looks like there's a cucumber there and a cucumber there coming up, so good deal. And this is my stepmom and sister's garden. They've got good stuff going on. They even have cauliflower growing. One there, one there. So exciting. These poor tomato plants. They don't look like they've improved too much since I planted them, but they're still alive. They're not dead yet. We'll see. We'll see if we get any new growth off of them. Well, this one right here does seem to have some good top leaves on there, so we may be saved. Oh, I see some here on this one too. So they may be growing for me after all. Over here, the corn is really starting to pop up. There's a lot of empty spaces though. So you can see, like right here is one, and then there should be one there, and then there's one there. So what I might do is I have another sweet corn, stole sweet corn, that I might come in here and fill in the holes in the missing places and get this filled in a little better. So definitely have some corn coming up. Could use a bit more. So hopefully some of it was just buried deeper and still coming up, but at any rate, we'll replace that which is not coming up. And then the beans over here, they're popping up as well. Again, there's a lot of holes in between. Right there. Sorry, my shadow's in the way. Right there, and that's this right here. That's the bean. These were green beans and then a mix of, see, there's a nice bean plant right there. Yeah, this needs to be weeded obviously, but there's a lot of the beans that didn't come up, so that's disappointing. I mean, there's quite a few, but I do have some more green bean seeds, so I'll come in and maybe fill in some of the empty spaces with more bean seeds. Okay, it's pretty warm this afternoon, but I wanted to get a little something more done. So I'm gonna pull out some more of these overgrown chard and other plants, get some of these weeds, and maybe even pull out some of those poppies over there. I still have some plants to plant, some seeds I want to get planted, and they need to get in the ground soon because it's nearing the end of June, and pretty soon it's going to be time to just wait until fall planting. So need to get more ground cleared out so I can plant more things. So Brent is working on setting up a watering system that will make it so much easier to water. So you can see the piping here. This is for our larger pump, and it will hook up to this irrigation pipe coming out of the ground here. But he's getting it all set up so we don't have to move that tripod sprinkler.
Well, not as much.
Yeah.
Last year our biggest problem was just not being able to water efficiently enough.
Yeah.
At least the biggest problem that I saw that I could have helped with or whatever. But this time, with this running, probably 80% of our water that we're needing to make sure it gets to these things is going to be set and easy to take care of. And if we otherwise plant other things, hopefully we can just put it in the path of the water.
Yeah. But that's the great thing about this hand line, though, is that it's fairly easy to move if we need it. But it's got wonderful big sprinklers, so it comes out of the ground right here. And then I'll take you around and show you the pump on the other side. It's in the creek, just on the other side of the chicken coop there. So anyway, he's getting this hand line set up for that. So to get to this other pump that we have, I've shown you the smaller one that the faucet over here is hooked up to. I have to go all the way over there to turn it on. It's very easy to turn on, just has a switch. Sometimes we have to prime the pump, but This pump over here is a little bit of a different beast. But we have to walk through all this brush to get there, which we're trying to get this cleaned up. But I wanted to show you this plant right here. This is awful. I remember these from when I was a kid, and I saw one vine of it last year over here. And I just kind of let it be, not really thinking much about it. But I totally forgot that its seeds are little sticky balls. And when critters walk through them, or when people walk through them, they come off onto their clothes or their fur. And then they get dropped off everywhere. And then they start whole new plants. And so now we have this plant all over, just all over. And so every time I see it, I have to stop and clean it up, because it's not so bad with Sidon, our farm pug, but now we have Bruno, and his long fur is just going to be awful with these. So I'm really trying to demolish these when I can find them. I've heard they have some medicinal qualities, but I really don't care. They're going by as much as I can pull them out. But here we have some mullein, and I just want to say I grew up thinking this was goldenrod, because it's a rod with golden flowers. See? Makes sense? So it was beyond me when I discovered that that plant over there, there's no flowers yet, but they're long sticks with the spindly leaves on them. There's just a whole bunch of it right there. Let me see if I can get closer for you. Yeah, so these right in here, those are goldenrod. So I don't know. It makes more sense for this to be called goldenrod, don't you think? I think so. Anyway, we have quite a few goldenrod around now. These have medicinal properties, or sorry, mullein. Mullein has medicinal properties as well. So does goldenrod. So I want to keep these around whenever I can. So anyway, we come through here. Here's one of my rhubarb plants, of which I have picked most thoroughly because I've been selling it. And it's going to need a break for a while. So we come through here, and this is our other pump. Now this pump requires a little bit different. It doesn't have just a switch you can turn on. And I'm trying to see, seems like we're missing something, or maybe my husband did something different with it. Anyway, we have to hook up a hose to here in order to prime the pump. And then we have to flip, let me get you in some better light here, or just, yeah, okay, we'll go over on this side. So we have to lift this up with the water running in here, so it's priming the pump, and lift this, and it'll decide whether or not it wants to start. You just kind of have to hold it, and then let it go, and then hold it, and it's whether or not it wants to start. So eventually I would like to replace this with a pump with a pressure tank, so that it's a lot easier to use, but for now this is what we have. Anyway, so it goes up over here. There's actually a faucet right there that we can use, and then it just goes underground to that big pipe that we saw coming out of the ground. So this is what we can use for watering all of that field. We have hand line that will just cover the field. We have to move it from place to place, but that's how we can water the whole field once we have it all planted. But I find this one a little bit harder to use, and so that's why I like to use the other one. Just hook up some hoses, and then all you have to do is flip up the switch. But this does cover a lot more ground at one time, so it'll be nice to get it up and running. Well, this about does it for day 14. I didn't get a whole lot done, got some weeding done, getting some watering done, and we're getting to the end of the day, and it's hot. I'm ready to be done. So I think we're gonna call it for day 14. We will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna go give these weeds to the chickens, who will enjoy a nice little dinner time treat.
Here, I'll get these two.
Oh, thanks.
I do a bitty, and that's all, folks.